Hi, my name is James. I'm a knee, foot and ankle specialist, and today we're going to give you a review and comparison of the Saucony Ride 17 and the Saucony Triumph 22. So both of them are classified as neutral shoes, but they have different features in terms of the fit, the type of upper, the tongue, the cushioning and the performance. So we're going to separate each of these for you. Hopefully at the end of the video you have a better idea of what shoe might work best for you. So the first thing that we're going to touch on is elements of stability within the shoes. So first of all, in the Ride 17, whilst it's not a stability shoe, it has elements of stability in it. So it has a nice wide platform, and that gives you an extra base of support, and it has some sole flare, especially in the forefoot, so that gives you that extra bit of stability when you go into the push-off phase of the gait cycle. In contrast to that, you've got in the Triumph a very much a classic neutral shoe. So it's got a centered heel bevel on the back, doesn't have much sole flare or a wider base of support underneath, so it's quite a narrower shoe, and it's a classic neutral compared to what you see in the Ride 17. Then in terms of cushioning, two different types of cushioning in the midsole. So in the Triumph 22, you've got the PWR Run PB, so that's a much more compliant plush type of cushioning. So if you're looking for a shoe that you feels like you're walking or running on a cloud, doesn't have much bounce back, then you look at the Triumph 22, whereas in the Ride 17 you've got a really resilient foam in the PWR Run Plus cushioning. So in the shoe it's much more resilient, much more bounce. If you think of it like a spring, when you apply force to it, it pushes you back. So if you're looking for more of an up-tempo neutral shoe, then the Ride 17's got you covered. In terms of the stack, you got 35mm at the rear foot, 27mm at the forefoot, giving you 8mm drop. You got 40mm at the rear foot and 30mm at the forefoot in the Triumph, giving you a 10mm drop. So a lot more packed into the midsole on the Triumph, and you can really feel that when you run, the 10mm drop, whereas a little bit more subtle in the Ride 17. Slightly different heel counters on both. So you got a moderately flexible heel counter on the Ride 17. It's got a little bit of cushioning, but not too much. In contrast to that, you've got a really rounded heel counter on the Triumph 22 and a bit stiffer on the heel counter as well. So if anyone has any history of issues with that, it's just something to be aware of. Both of them have a central heel bevel. Then when it comes to the upper, we've got differences in fit and comfort as well. So overall, they're both a true to size fit. However, in the toe box, it's nice and high in terms of volume on the Triumph 22, whereas in the Ride 17 it's quite low in terms of volume at the front. So if you have any history of issues with that, some people who have bunions or bone spurs on the top of their foot, they might not enjoy the lower aspect of the toe box in the Ride 17. Both tongues are gusseted with a little bit of padding, and both of them have a great lockdown. Overall, what I'd say is two different shoes. So you've got a neutral stable shoe in the Ride 17. It's a lot more up-tempo, a lot more spring, a lot more bounce to it. It's a shoe that I would recommend for more up-tempo, faster, longer runs. In the Triumph 22, you've got a bit more of a cruiser, so super comfortable, lots of stack packed into that midsole, really cushioned. If you're looking for recovery runs, nice easy runs, then I think the Triumph 22 is probably the one for you. If you've got any questions on the shoes, leave them in the comment section below. If you found the video interesting, do subscribe to the channel.